Hello everyone, good to see you. My name is Ank Kleinmeulman. Our website is cwowi.eu, Church Without Walls International. We are part of a worldwide network of house churches. Go to our website, you find a lot of information about that. But today I want to talk to you about our journey with the Lord and our journey to house church, part 3, the final part. So where did I end last time? I ended that we were at the Bible school, at the end of the Bible school, and we had to pray about taking the next step and how that came by revelation. By the way, I think next week I will talk a little bit about how you do that, how you, the mysteries that God has for you, they are not hidden from you, but they are there for you. How do you unlock them so that you know the mysteries and the secrets that He has for you, the plans He has for you, the things He wants you to do? But that's for next time. Okay, so we prayed and the Lord revealed to me, came by revelation, just like I suddenly knew we had to start a new church. Well, Will was like, how can we do that? You know, we are leading elders right now. We can't just leave the church. This can't be God. So I prayed and said, Father, if you revealed it to me, I'm sure you will reveal it to him too. So please do so. And after a couple of days, while he was in Bible school and listened to the word, the Lord revealed it to him. And he said, you have to build a new barn, meaning a barn for the harvest to come. So it took a while because a lot of things happened in between, but that's not for today. And then after a couple of months, we decided to rent a school, part of a school building. And we, with our family and my mom, who was still alive, we just started a church, made some announcement. People came. Some people left after a couple of times. People came to spy out who are those weird people. But we followed the Lord to the best of our ability. And after a couple of years, it felt like, we have not really hit the mark 100%. And then we had a guest speaker coming over and he said, well, the Lord is saying to you that he wants you to change something. I said, we kind of know it. We sense it in our spirit, but what? And oftentimes the Lord wants to reveal things to you, right? And everything in the kingdom of God works by revelation. So we did what we knew to do. Again, we prayed in the spirit and said, Father, if we need to change, we have no idea what to change. We were thinking about maybe moving to Saturday evening, like focus on young people, but nothing really made sense in our spirit. So we prayed. And not long after that, a couple of weeks later, we had invited a pastor's friends. And they called us and said, well, we have some friends over here. Is it okay that they come along with us? We said, okay, of course, they are very welcome. And they came, and the friends of our friends, they said, have you ever heard of John Fenn? And we said, no, we never heard of John Fenn. And they told us that they had been to the States. They were students of John Fenn's Bible school. They came back to the Netherlands and started a church. And they said, well, here is this website. Maybe it's an idea to check it out. And something inside, it just resonated in our spirit. So when they were gone, Will was printing out a lot of articles. And I was reading them because I needed to know what he was saying, and I felt it is the Lord. And then I read about house church, about people in the New Testament. It was written to people in homes, and the apostles and so on. They were traveling from home to home, and I was like, really? Can that be? Is it the truth? But I wanted to know if it's in the Word, then I believe. But it has to be in the Word. So after reading all of those notes and all those articles, I came to the conclusion, I think we need to, that's what the change the Lord wants us to do. He wants us to move out of the building and to have church in our home. And we were both like, how is that possible? We went to Bible school and we never knew that the book of Acts and that all the letters of Paul and the others were written to people doing house church. We never knew. In our mind, all those letters were written to people who were sitting in the audience, in a traditional church setting with one pastor. That is what we were told, one pastor over a church. And then you had a fivefold and so on in the church building, in that system. But then we saw that the word actually says something different. So, but now we knew it was the Lord for us. He wanted us to change and go out of the building and move to our home. But we didn't know how to do that, so we decided to call John. There was a phone number at that time on this website. And we called him, and I still remember that moment. I remember we were in our bedroom, because we had a phone and it had a loudspeaker on it. It's not like you have today, cell phones. There were no cell phones then. So we put on the loudspeaker and Will called him, and the moment I heard his voice, my spirit jumped. I've never had it before, I never had it since, but my spirit jumped like, this is it. And Will told his stories, questions, and John told his stories, and it seemed like we had done a lot of the similar things in ministry, and the Lord led us both to do house church. So yeah, we called him a couple of times on Saturday morning, I believe, and then we said, well, we really want you to come over to the Netherlands and help us make the transition and tell the people about house church. So he did. He and his wife Barb came. We rented a bigger building, and we invited friends that we knew from the Netherlands, the people from our house church. And John started to explain his journey, what the word says about house church. And that was actually the beginning of our journey into house church. And it felt so normal, it felt so right. And I still remember the first time that we moved out of the building and came to our home, and you think, oh, the people in your church, were they okay? Well, we had a lot of young people, and they were okay. They were like, yeah, house church, well, okay, let's go for it. So they joined us. There was one lady, she was a bit older, and she decided to join another church, which was okay. So about the moment we had a Sunday morning service for the first time in our home, the Lord said, see, this is what I meant. And then I have to refer to what he told me years before it, maybe 6, 7 years before that, when we had a youth meeting in our home. And the Lord said, see, this is what I want you, this is what you are going to do. And I didn't understand it at that time, because I thought it was about having young people in our home. But the Lord was talking about having church in your home. So the moment we were there, I said, see, this is what I meant. And it totally makes sense. And it really felt like coming home. It felt like this is what we were born for. This is what the Lord wanted us to do. And we have done house church many, many years since then. It was a great journey. We had to learn a lot of things. So we are still the mindset of the traditional church. Like on Sunday you go to church, Sunday evening there's a meeting. Wednesday, there you have prayer or Bible school or Bible study meeting. So we started to do a prayer and Bible study on Wednesday evening. But the young people came, and they had busy jobs, and they were tired, and they were yawning, and they almost fell asleep. And there was just no anointing on those Wednesday evening prayer meetings. So we thought, okay, maybe it's okay to skip it, all right? But what do you do during the week? So normally, especially when you are leading elder in a church, there are a lot of meetings during the week, a lot of things to discuss. So almost every evening was like filled. And now there was nothing during the week. Like on Monday, we were sitting there and saying, okay, what do we have today? Nothing. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, nothing. And that was strange, and it felt a little bit bored at first. But it also felt really good. But the Lord had to teach us about it. It's okay. It's okay not to be so busy with ministry, but just to focus on the Lord yourself. And now you have to really get to know him. Not get to know him through the system, but get to know him. And it was a whole learning process. I still remember one of the persons we had in our church. He was a really evangelist. He liked to go out on the street. And then he said, okay, let's all together go out on the street on Saturday morning. But it's not us, it's not me to go out on the street. And we said, if you want to do that, you are welcome. You could do so. Ask some people who want to do that to join you, but do not make it a program like we all have to do that. And he was he didn't understand it. I think later on he understood it. We had to learn a lot of other things. When you have people in your home, when you have young families in your home, they are guests in your home, right? And I still remember we had some family, a young family, had 3 or 4 young kids. They were used in their home to jump on the couch, to do whatever they wanted to do. And then they came to our home, and they jumped on the couches, and they did all those things, which was like, what are you doing? So we had to ask the parents, please tell them not to do that. And they were upset because it was okay in their home. Are we just one family? Yes, we are one family, but we have different rules in our family than you probably have in your family. So that was a lot of things to learn, and to how do you address people, how do you do that. After having done a house church, I think we started in 2010, if I am right, well, in between John came like every year, and usually for a couple of days. So we had Saturday conferences. We invited people from everywhere. They came from the Netherlands. But in 2010, we had it on our hearts to do a conference the whole weekend, like starting Saturday morning and ending on Sunday evening. And that was the first time people from France and Belgium and Germany came. And then we decided, okay, we have to find another spot actually that is better suited. And the next year we went to Emmaus, Helvoort, where we have been like almost 10 times, I think. And we spent our whole weekend and had fellowship and having meals together, teaching, prayer for one another once a year. And that is an amazing thing. And the Lord knits hearts, you know, and our friends we have so many friends all over Europe. But because now we knew those people and those people got to know us, there was a need to follow up, to get in touch with them again and to travel. So that's how we started traveling all over Europe and even abroad. And actually it's just like Paul did, you know, he stayed in people's homes, he traveled, and people knew him and they knew him, and they knew that he was not perfect. And people know that we are not perfect, and no one is perfect, but we are growing and growing in him, and it's about the relationships in him. So yeah, I was reading in Acts 20, and that is, well, it's amazing, like how Paul was when he was in Ephesus there, and he called the elders together, and he wanted to encourage them to take heed to themselves, to all the flock, and so on and so on. And then he says in verse 36, it says in Acts 20, when he had said all these things, he knelt down and prayed with them all. And then they all wept freely and fell on Paul's neck and kissed him, sorrowing most of all the words which he spoke, that they would not see his face no more. And it felt like that. It feels like that for us. It feels like those people who are in a house, when you meet them, it's wonderful. But at a certain point you have to leave them, and you are sorrowful. And sometimes you weep and you kiss each other. Chapter 21, verse 5 says the same thing. We all went now, here. When we had come to the end of those days, because Paul stayed there for a couple of days in people's home, we departed, went on our way. They all accompanied us with wives and children till we were out of the city, and we knelt down on the shore and prayed. You see that the whole New Testament is all about relationships in the Lord. People having get to know you, and they will know you. And it's so natural, it's so normal, it's so good, and the Lord is there. Even when 2 or 3 are gathered together, the Lord is in their midst. So that was our journey to house church. You probably have a lot of questions about it. You can go to our website, cwowi.eu. Ask me. I'm on Messenger also, on Facebook. What else can we say? For us, it was the best thing to do, and it was not that we started to do house church out of hurt, or for another reason, or because we wanted to do our own thing. No, but it was just because the Lord led us to do so. And then I have to go back to the word he spoke in 1980, and you know, we started doing house church in 2004, so many years in between, when he said, okay, the testimonies of my first witnesses will also be the testimonies of my last witnesses. And then I understood, okay, what they saw in the book of Acts, what they experienced, it came out of that close connection, out of those churches, those homes where the people knew one another, where they loved one another, where they took care of one another, where the presence of the Lord was. And out of that, the Lord could do those miracles. I hope it has been a blessing, and see you next time. Bye-bye.